Hello, good morning. How are you?
So address yourself. So I think this is a day for all the voters. They expect nomination. They really want to see the candidate who are going to contest in their area. So do you have any word to say, sir?
Okay, my name is Rajan. I'm residing in Temulo for a long time, actually, maybe about 30-40 years. But on and off, I come and go back. The reason I came was actually to have a look at how things are going on. I just want to me, this year, unlike last year, it's very, very quiet. Most probably because the climate is not so good. But overall, I still see...
Is it due to weather or maybe their habit, or maybe youngsters, they are not much youngsters that they turn up for this event?
I don't know. Overall, the youngsters are a bit less, I would say, compared to the older generation. Maybe the older generation, there is some commitment coming in, and they want to show their support. The younger generation, most probably, they're still undecided where they should vote and all that. So we really don't see the younger generation, not only here, but throughout. I see overall there's not much younger generation being turning up. The climate, I don't think so should be an excuse. Like if the older generation can come, the young should be able to come. So that's how I feel.
So most of the public, what do they expect from the those candidates contesting in various parliament seats and state to state? What kind of expectation?
For me, it is only two things I'm looking at it. One is good governance, and good governance along with economic development. It's no point having good governance without any economic development. No point having economic development if there is no good governance. So these two go together, hand in hand. So you need good governance and good economic development. If these two are there, I think people will be satisfied. End of the day.
So what kind of a good government you're mentioning? What kind of a good government?
When we say good governance, of course, the rule of law. Okay, that means everybody is treated equally, and that's very, very important. Minimize corruption. That's also very important. The legal system is very good. The financial system is very good. So all these things are very, very important. And when we do infrastructure should be guided in such a way it helps to bring up or to develop the community, not white elephants. We have too many white elephants now. So that's what I mean by good governance, and making sure that food security is a very important issue. So all these good planning, all these are part of good governance here for me.
So what are the expectations of most of the young voters? Since there is a rumor they got the voting power for this GE15. So do you agree with that, sir? Yeah.
Well, that is a two-way thing. Of course, there is a high high percentage of young voters coming in. But the problem is, just take an example today. The number of people coming is so small. If the same thing happens on election day, then there's no point having young voters too many. So I think the most important thing is the young voters have to come out to determine to vote. And as far as they are concerned, my advice to them is just think of one very important thing: how they would like to have their life in the next 5 years or 10 years. That's very important. Of course, everybody wants to buy a house, everybody wants to buy a car, everybody wants to get married, everybody wants to have their children go to a good school, economical. That is what the youngsters should think. Not like me, I'm 70 years old, I've already done everything. But for a person who's just coming up in life, that is for something 18 years old, 21 years old. That's what he needs to think in life. So his vote should go to the person who thinks who can give him all these things. That means houses at a cheaper rate, the economy, good job security, good food security, good education security. All these are things which the young needs to look into it. Nothing emotional, it's nothing emotional.
Okay, sir. So since you're telling the youth you've got a more responsible to absorb their information and to be a good author. So there is a group of intellectual group. They say 18 years for the individual, they are immature to select the suitable candidate or maybe worthy candidate which they lead this country. So do you have any?
Okay, let me give you one small example. The person or individuals who are saying this are people who are 60 and above. Let me tell you, when I was 60, the first time I saw a black and white TV was when I was about 12 or 15 years old. Now a born child is having a hand camera in his hand within a year. The times have changed. Now the way an 18-year-old boy or girl thinks is more than what we were thinking at 25 or 30 years old. I think the times, I think a 20-year-old, a child, I wouldn't say child, and I would say a 20 is already an adult. That guy will tell me better things from me at 70 years old.
Okay.
So I think we shouldn't be thinking that way. I think, for example, when we talk about this digital camera, okay? Do you think a 70-year-old man is good at digital camera, or do you think a 20-year-old boy is good at digital thing? So I think let's forget that. I think that is, you should give the youth more place. The old people must just not say move away. They just give them some advice and that's it. Let the young people.
So in that sense, what is the advice for the youngsters right now? This is the first time for them to vote. They have to execute their tasks.
Like we say, we elderly people, we are looking towards the grave. That is our reality. For the young man, no. He wants to buy a house. He wants to buy a car. He wants to get married. He wants to have a child. So he is looking into the future. And that's why I say the young has to look into the future, what he wants to do in his life in the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. And he should decide the voting pattern on who will do this for him. It is no more personal, it's no more emotional, it's not even the party anymore. If you see a party, which even be a good party, if the man is completely useless, has got a track record, I wouldn't vote for him. He doesn't comes up to the parliament, never even opens his mouth. What's the use of having a person? He can be an intellectual, so what? He goes to parliament, never open his mouth for what? So we want someone who can work for the people. So the youth have to think in that, and then it's just not talking but working. That's most important.
So, final word, for them?
Say, vote wisely. Come out and vote. Don't sit at home. Come out. For me, if a 70-year-old man can come out and to look what's happening, I do not see why a 20-year-old young man shouldn't come out and look what's happening. So what if it's a bit cloudy? I'm still happy.
Okay. Thank you very much.